She realizes your value when you pull back. There comes a moment in every connection when effort becomes invisible. You show up, you explain yourself, you give time, energy, patience, and still feel unseen. Not because you lack value, but because your presence has become predictable. When someone knows you'll always be there, they stop noticing the weight of your absence. This is where pulling back becomes not a game, but a quiet statement of self-respect. Pulling back is not punishment. It is clarity. It's the moment you stop over-explaining your worth and allow silence to speak for you. When you stop chasing, the dynamic shifts. She begins to feel the space you once filled effortlessly, not because you vanished, but because you finally chose yourself over constant availability. Value is often recognized through contrast. When you were always present, your presence felt normal. When you pull back, your absence becomes loud. She starts to remember the emotional safety, the consistency, the support you offered without being asked. Distance sharpens memory. Space forces reflection. The mistake many people make is giving endlessly without boundaries. Overgiving trains others to take without appreciation. Pulling back breaks that pattern. It reminds her that access to you is not guaranteed. That your time, energy, and attention are privileges, not entitlements. When you pull back, you reclaim control of your emotional economy. You stop pouring into someone who hasn't decided how much you matter. This shift is felt immediately. Not always through words, but through curiosity, hesitation, and a sudden awareness of what's missing. She begins to notice the silence, the lack of messages, the absence of reassurance, and in that silence, questions arise. Why is he distant? Why does it feel different? Why do I suddenly feel unsure? That uncertainty is not cruelty. It's awareness waking up. Pulling back exposes the truth of the connection. If she only valued you for what you provided, the distance will frustrate her. If she valued you for who you are, the distance will draw her closer. Either way, you gain clarity without begging for it. There is power in not reacting immediately, in not explaining yourself repeatedly, in allowing someone to sit with the consequences of their indifference. When you stop filling every emotional gap, she is forced to confront whether she wants to meet you halfway. Respect grows when desperation disappears. Pulling back communicates strength, not weakness. It shows that you are not afraid to lose someone who does not see your worth. That confidence is felt, even if it's never spoken aloud. The moment you stop trying to be chosen, you become unforgettable. Not because you changed who you are, but because you stopped shrinking yourself to be kept. Absence makes the heart evaluate, not just miss. She realizes your value when she understands that your presence was never guaranteed. It was a choice. And choices can be withdrawn when they are not honored. This is not about manipulation. It's about alignment, about stepping back so the truth can step forward, about allowing space to reveal intention. If this message resonates with you, if you're learning the power of self-respect, emotional discipline, and silent confidence, make sure you subscribe to this channel. There's more clarity, depth, and truth coming your way, and you don't want to miss it. Stay grounded. Stay valuable. And remember, those who truly see you never need to be chased. She realizes your value when you pull back. The moment you stop explaining yourself is the moment power returns to you. Stoicism teaches that what begs loses value, and what stands firm is respected. When you pull back, you are not disappearing, you are refusing to be taken for granted. Silence, when chosen, is not weakness. It is authority. Most people do not ignore you because you lack value. They ignore you because you have made your value cheap through constant availability. When you are always present, your presence loses weight. When you pull back, absence becomes a lesson no words could teach. Stoics understood this long before modern relationships. They knew that attachment without boundaries leads to disrespect. When you stop reaching, stop chasing, and stop adjusting yourself to be accepted, the balance shifts. She begins to feel what she once overlooked. Pulling back exposes truth. If she valued convenience, she will feel irritated. If she valued you, she will feel the loss. Either way, you gain clarity without asking a single question. Distance reveals intentions faster than conversation ever will. A Stoic does not react emotionally to neglect. He observes. He withdraws. He lets reality speak. When you remove your attention, your validation, and your emotional labor, the illusion collapses. She realizes how much of the connection depended on your effort alone. The mind respects what it cannot control. When you stop being predictable, you become significant. Pulling back disrupts complacency. It forces reflection. She starts to replay moments she once ignored. Not because you demanded it, but because your absence created space for thought. Stoicism teaches self-mastery above all else. When you pull back, you are choosing discipline over impulse. You are refusing to overinvest where there is no equal return. This restraint is felt. It communicates strength without aggression. The weak chase reassurance. The strong withdraw and watch. Pulling back says, I know my worth, and I do not negotiate it. That energy changes how you are perceived. Respect grows where desperation dies. She realizes your value when she understands that access to you is not permanent. That your presence was a privilege, not a guarantee. Loss sharpens awareness. Distance restores perspective. This is not manipulation. It is detachment. It is emotional independence. A Stoic does not threaten to leave. He simply does when alignment is lost. When you pull back, you reclaim your time, your focus, and your dignity. And in doing so, you remind the world that you cannot be ignored without consequence. Remain silent. Remain steady. Let absence do the work. You talk too much when silence would have done the work. Every explanation weakens your position. Every attempt to be understood lowers your value. When you pull back, you are not retreating, you are removing access. People do not disrespect you suddenly. They do it gradually, as you tolerate more than you should. Each time you stay available despite being ignored, you teach them how little you cost. Pulling back is the correction. Value is not proven by effort. It is proven by scarcity. What is always present is ignored. What can be lost is respected. When you disappear, the mind begins to calculate. Absence forces recognition. A Stoic does not chase clarity. He creates distance and observes behavior. Words lie. Patterns do not. When you stop initiating, stop fixing, stop carrying the emotional weight alone, the truth reveals itself without resistance. She realizes your value when she feels the loss of what you quietly provided. The stability, the attention, the presence, not because you reminded her, but because it is no longer there. Pulling back strips the illusion of control. You are no longer predictable, no longer reliable for emotional comfort. This unsettles the dynamic. The moment she cannot reach you the same way, the balance shifts. Do not announce your withdrawal. Do not seek closure. Do not warn. Weak men explain. Strong men act. Silence is cleaner. Absence is final. The mind respects what does not beg. When you stop reacting, stop responding immediately, stop accommodating disrespect, you become difficult to replace. Calm indifference is a language most people understand too late. Stoicism is not about revenge. It is about sovereignty. You withdraw not to punish, but to preserve yourself. If she values you, she will feel the distance. If she doesn't, you have lost nothing. When you pull back, you reclaim authority over your time and energy. You stop investing where returns are uncertain. You stop proving what should have been obvious. She realizes your value when she understands you were not asking to be chosen. You were allowing access. And access can be revoked without discussion. This is the final truth. The one most people learn too late. Respect follows restraint. Power follows silence. If this speaks to you, subscribe to this channel. This is not motivation. This is discipline. More cold clarity is coming. Say less. Observe more. Withdraw when necessary.